All right, let's get them started. Hey, Vaughn. I see you, bro. All right, all right.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or evil deeds. We do so because the change is affecting
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm your host and third eye optometrist, Patrice Gibbs. Yes, indeed, ready to get it started. We'll be joined soon by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. All right. Hey, Sherry, I see you, sister. All right, Brother Vaughn in the house. Okay. You know what? I'm going to do what I do and get this disclaimer out the way right quick. All right, let's do that. All right.
The views and opinions expressed on Open Eye are those of the host, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
All right. Let's get it started. As you know, I usually start off with some history. Today I am, but it's something that I noticed has been going on, especially by, right-wing extremists. If you're a Republican at all, you're probably a right-wing extremist. There's really little to no difference between you and the fringe Trumpster cult people and what have you. Let me ask you this, all right? One of the things that they've been putting out, especially since their victory with Roe versus Wade from the rogue Supreme Court, is that now they've started comparing abortion with slavery. Let me tell you something. You cannot compare anything with chattel slavery as practiced here in the United States. Let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the spike gag mask? As bad as you think slavery was, it was a lot worse. It was a hell of a lot worse, right? Are you familiar with the spike gag mask that slave women were required to wear for an entire generation? Spike gag mask. For an entire generation until our native tongue was forgotten. Now, it not only covered the mouth, but had blades in the mouth to cut with even the slightest movement of the tongue. You know why? According to several patent laws, The women were said to have the power to speak enchantments that would cause slave takers to drop dead on the spot. So what they did was they silenced the women, the African queens, and took away the language and demonized all indigenous forms of worship and ritual. Okay? Understand the power that our women had. That they were so afraid of what could come out of their mouths, what they could speak. They would put masks on them that would cut their tongues if they spoke. How dare you compare slavery to abortion? Racist idiots. And of course, anytime they come up with something, that they unbelievably, the biggest crybabies in the world, that they feel oppressed, they want to try to compare it to slavery. Biggest crock in the world. And that goes for anything. There's nothing that compares to the horror of chattel slavery. You need to learn that. As for our women, I've told you this before, our history shows Black women have been key to our survival in the oppressed African colony in America. Who possesses the eloquence to sufficiently express how important the Nubian queen is and has been to the Black man in America? She is our mother, our primary nurturer, and first teacher. She is our sister. She sacrificed her dignity, body, and soul to save her from the master's whip and noose. And she is the most suitable woman for marriage. Who else can understand our frustrated, oppressed spirit and soothe our tattered soul? The Nubian queen is the field from which the Black man must produce our future. And it is for the aforementioned reason that Black men should become incensed whenever we see Black women not afforded the respect and dignity commensurate with her contribution to our survival as a people. All right? She is our primary source of melanin. Don't get it mixed. She is indeed. And what is melanin? Melanin is the fundamental unit of the universe. And it exists in 4 forms: cosmic, planetary, plant kingdom, chlorophyll, and animal kingdom, melanin. Melanin is black because its chemical structure allows no energy to escape, making black melanin the super absorber of energy and light. Melanin is found in almost every organ of the body and is necessary in order for the brain and nerves to operate, the eyes to see, and cells to reproduce. Melanin can rearrange its chemical structure to absorb all energy across the radiant energy spectrum. For instance, sunlight, X-rays, music, sound, radar, radio waves, etc. The Black human can change up his or her melanin just by being in the sun or around the right type of musical sounds or other energy sources. That's why I call you children of the sun. You know, in the American mythology lexicon, Superman is powered by the sun. Superman from Krypton came here, and the sun powers him up. That's what made him Superman, the sun. And of course, like I said, in the American lexicon mythology, because there's no way in hell that someone who lacks melanin can absorb the sun. You see what happens when the mayonnaise mob gets too much sun. See, that's why I know they did not build the damn pyramid. Because there's no way in hell they stayed in Egypt that long and didn't burn up. You know, I was breaking it down to a brother about climate change, actually. Okay, and I know open-eyed listeners have heard me say this before. The earth is a living entity. And as most living entities, it is self-correcting. Just like your human body, when your human body gets a fever or gets a virus, okay, what your body does is it fights that off. And the way it fights it off is it gets a fever and makes it too hot for that virus to survive. The earth is actually pretty smart. It knows it has a virus. So it is making it too hot for that virus to survive. Now, to some people, that might sound racist or crazy or whatever. But let's look at the science. The science explains it all. Look what's going on. They had a heat wave in Europe where they were expecting, I haven't got the latest numbers on it, but people have died from this heat wave in Europe. Where they're expecting thousands to actually die from this heat wave. They don't even have air conditioners in Europe like we do here because the heat doesn't go out. Europe is, you know, in the northern hemisphere where it's cool. That's why they can survive there. But because they have cut up so damn bad on the earth has realized it has a virus. And when I say they are cut up, it seems as though the Caucasian is on a mission to destroy the Earth's environment. Not only with fossil fuels like oil and what have you, but dumping waste into the water, poisoning the atmosphere. You know, I mean, it's just an ongoing thing. And the Earth is saying, oh, wait a minute. This thing is working against my survival. I have a virus. Make it too hot. Knowing in itself on a philosophical plane is a black chemical, a biological door through which the life force of African spirituality passes in the moving from the spirit to the material world. And many times have I told you, we are spiritual beings having a human existence, having a human experience. This is Open Eye, WHGE 95.3 FM. Stay tuned. What we got here? WHGE 95.3 the education station, the education advocacy station. And you know, if you tune in here, that's what you're going to get. An education. Listen, slavery was a ritual, rape, humiliation, lynching, blood sacrifice, new names, detachment from ancestral roots, torture, psychic attack, biblical brainwashing, loss of spiritual power. Slavery was a spell that bred the dysfunction we as a community are currently handling. Okay? This is not just something spiritual and this, that, and this is science. I want to thank Tracy for posting that. This is science. Look, what's his sister's name? Dr. Joy DeGruy. She explains post-traumatic slave disorder to us. And it goes deeper than that. You know that because of your traditional competition for survival, that affects their DNA. Because they had to compete just to eat. And that mindset is still in their DNA. That's why they are so competitive. Okay? They don't understand the concept of I am because we are. In their DNA, their understanding is I am because I beat you. In the African DNA, which is still in us, we didn't have to compete for survival because resources were plentiful and still are. Without Africa, the world dies. Forget about it. Okay? All the resources that the world needs are on the African continent. And people wanted those outside of Africa, and as Dr. Clark teaches us, have no desire or intention to pay for it, which is how you get the colonial colonizer mindset. Because what they do is they come into Africa with this so-called neo-colonialism. Colonialism is still a fact of life in Africa, whether spiritual colonialism, especially economic colonialism. Economic colonialism is like the most evil thing that is going on in Africa. It's crazy that what they do is the International Monetary Fund will lend Africa money and then claim their resources when Africa can't pay back this money. Well, guess where this goddamn money came from? They stole it from us. And then they stole your money, stole your resources, and they're going to lend it back to you. And then when you can't pay it, they take your resources. This is called predatory capitalism. Oh, and if they can't get an African leader to go along with their plan, with the predatory capitalists do, is they call in the jackal. And the jackal murders those leaders that are not cooperating with the colonizer. This is how this works. Okay. Pay attention to detail. I always tell you that. There's levels to this thing. Pay attention to detail. All right. Now, what's going on here? What's going on here? I meant to report on this a while back. This actually dates back a couple of weeks. The U.S. House of Representatives, approved an amendment for the yearly defense spending bill that compels government officials to prepare a report on instances of white supremacy and neo-Nazi activity in uniformed services and federal law enforcement. The amendment, sponsored by Representative Brad Schneider, Democrat out of Illinois, was added in a party line 218 to 208 vote in the House version of the National Defense Authorization Act. With Democrats in support and, of course, right-wing Republicans in opposition. The chamber is expected to pass the full NDAA this week. The House will then go into conference and blah, blah, blah. All right. The point is, the amendment mandates that the report include information on how the agency leaders responded to planned or effectuated incidents connected to white supremacy and neo-Nazi ideology. Okay. In remarks on the House floor, Snyder said the U.S. is experiencing an increase in domestic extremism, pointing to the 2018 shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh and Charlottesville, likely a reference to the Unite Right rally in 2017. He also cited a May presentation from the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency titled The Insider Threat and Extremist Activity Within the Department of Defense, which outlined extremism cases connected to military personnel. Such behavior, such extremism is a threat to us in all segments of society. There's no reason to believe that our military is any different. These are exceptions. They are rare, but we must do everything we can to identify them and thwart them before risks become a reality. I don't think they're exceptions. And I don't think they're rare. And it's not new. You know? Now, of course, right-wing racists who actually support neo-Nazism and what have you, I don't care what they say, they try to hide behind some righteousness, which they don't have. They lack any morals. But one of these Republicans, Representative Andy Biggs from Arizona, remember he's from Arizona, the last state to approve the Dr. King holiday. I didn't give a damn whether they did or not. He said this amendment attempts to create a problem where none exists by requesting investigations into law enforcement and armed services for alleged rampant white supremacists or white national sympathies. A problem where none exists. See, this is what they do. They deny that these white supremacists are even, you know, or even a problem or even exists. You know, which is why you get morons like that fool black guy, European, who participated in the January 6th insurrection. And so far, he has received more time than anybody involved. And he's a black man, yeah. He did some dumb stuff, yeah. Hit a cop upside the head or whatever, you know. He got 60 months, that's basically 5 years in jail. Really don't give a damn. And he's the type of fool who you're asking, is there racism in America? Well, if there is, I ain't seen it. Straight up nigger peeing coon, he deserved to go to jail, had no sympathy for him. And like I said, just making these comparisons once again, Ashley Babbitt, her mother has come out and said that if she had been a black woman, then Black Lives Matter, and the reaction would be totally different. And sympathy for anybody that loses a child and what have you. It's an awful thing to outlive your children, especially when they're killed. But here's the thing. Ashley Babbitt was an insurrectionist who attacked the Capitol and got her damn self killed. I ain't got no sympathy for that hussy. She could burn in hell with gasoline drawers on. Could care less. And yes, I got something for you. And let me tell you something. If you're a white woman, or you know some white women, you might want to tell them to tune in for what I'm getting ready to report on right now. Okay, so where is it? Okay, here we go. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, now check this out. A former Marine linked to neo-Nazi plotted attacks on Jewish targets and others. Okay, hold on, let's check my sound here. Hey, Jakeem, what's up, brother? All right. And like I said, white women need to listen up right here, right now. Department of Justice is investigating. It's a former U.S. Marine planned to attack a New York synagogue and engage in widespread homicide and sexual assault. The homicide is targeting minorities. Their initial planned target was a synagogue. Federal prosecutors argue in court documents obtained by CNN. Matthew Ballinger, a former Marine who was discharged from the service in May 2021 due to alleged dissident extremist activity. But you Republicans say we don't need to investigate the military for white supremacy. Bull. He was arrested last month by FBI agents on weapon charges as part of an investigation that began while he was stationed in Hawaii. Oh yeah, there's more. A federal grand jury in Hawaii indicted Ballinger on June 16, 2022 for his alleged role in unlawfully obtaining a weapon. For his alleged role in unlawfully obtaining a weapon, which includes charges of conspiracy to make a false statement to federal firearm licensing, making a false material statement during purchase of a firearm, and making a false statement of required information to a federal firearm licensee. Ballinger, of course, is pleaded not guilty to all three charges. The government's filing describing Ballinger's alleged extremist activity, which was first reported by Rolling Stone, was submitted in response to a motion by the defendant to have his detention order reviewed. A judge ultimately and correctly denied his request. According to the government's filing, a witness told investigators that Ballinger was one of the leaders of a neo-Nazi affiliated group called Rape Creed. Rape Creed. And procured weapons, uniforms, and tactical gear and discussed committing attacks on the synagogue, Jewish persons, women, and minorities. The group also allegedly discussed raping their enemies and the rape of white women to increase the production of white children in furtherance of Rape Creed's goal of creating a white ethno state through accelerationist means, according to prosecutors. The group, let me run that by you again. The group allegedly discussed raping their enemies and the rape of white women to increase the production of white children. And that's in support of their goal of producing a white ethno state through accelerationist means. Now, they came up with that because the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, and these extremist states like Texas, what was the other one? Where the 10-year-old was? Indiana, I think she was. 10-year-old girl raped, impregnated by her rapist, and they do not want her to have an abortion. Now, what was it, in Mississippi or Alabama, one of those Confederate states, still Confederate, they should have federal troops there to police these morons. In their abortion laws, it is against the law to get an abortion even in cases of rape. In these cases of rape, the rapist gets 5 years. If the woman seeks an abortion, she can get 10, 25 years or whatever. And the doctor who performs the abortion can get 99 years. You talk about rape culture. So they're going to rape white women and make them have, white women, do you know what you are? Have you come to the understanding of how white men see you? Have you forgotten how white men treat you? You're breeders. Remember, they had no problem burning you. They have no problem raping you. How many times have we seen white women raped by some privileged white supremacists, go to court, and the judge giving probation? Saw a rape case where the judge said straight out that he did not want to ruin this young man's life by putting him in jail just because he raped a woman. The hell with, he took her humanity. The hell with, he committed one of the worst crimes against a person or against a woman you can commit. Forget that he ruined her life. The judge did not want to ruin his life by putting him in jail because he raped somebody. And now, white women, if you get raped, your rapist may not go to jail, and these draconian states that have put all these mad restrictions on abortion have now added another little caveat. You cannot leave the state if you're pregnant. Okay? So, for these racist morons who are comparing abortion to slavery, okay, what you need to compare to slavery is anti-abortion. Because if you do not have freedom of travel, you are a slave. That's in the Constitution, that you have the right to travel from state to state. We don't have passports to travel from state to state in the United States. But these states have come up with laws that you cannot cross the state border if you're a woman and you're pregnant. And believe you me, those laws are directed specifically, primarily at white women. They'll probably let a black woman go on wherever she's going and get an abortion. They really don't give a damn. Because what they're concerned about is the population of Caucasians. What they're worried about, that in 10 years, whites could be a minority. So they're going to do everything and anything they can, including raping white women, outlaw them getting abortion, and making them bear their racist child, your breeders. That's what you are. That's what you are, you're breeders. That's what it is. WHGE 95.3 FM, the open eye. Yes, indeed. Let's keep it moving. Now this. What up, brother? Hey, what's up, Steven? Y'all in there. Word? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, you know what it is. WHGE 95.3. That's right. Open our radio. You see it way back, girl. But you know how to get my yo, this is wrong. We're setting up our table, you dig? And that guitar riff right there, that's Mr. Gibbs, you dig?
Yeah.
All streaming platforms. For real. Got the African Fest coming up too, yo. So hop on that. Come check us out. You know, come support. That's what it is. Steve, what's up? Joaquin, what's happening? Cherry, Vaughn, hey yo, I, yo, always got our back. I do, hey yo, much love.
WHGE 95.3 FM. In the house, Nsoromma.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Chop, chop.
All right.
What's good, bro? Hello, world.
Man.
Be blessed, everyone.
Be blessed.
See.
All right. Well, you know what? I gotta say something about. No, you know what?
What? Say
Yeah,
something about
I gotta get it out. Now, I've been talking about white women.
You've been talking about. I have been the other corner and you got the extra radio.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, let me tell you what.
Was it paid?
Well, it is for them.
Oh, split it up. Okay.
Yeah,
You being paid? Was you being paid?
No,
okay,
no.
okay,
I was
okay.
giving them some advice and letting them know how white men see them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, you know, and what I reminded them is, don't forget
right.
that white men accuse white women of being witches.
Oh,
burn
yeah,
them in the
and they
stake.
burned them and man,
Yeah.
white men back then were so savage that maybe that's the word. You can't describe no other word.
Yeah.
Savage. Look it up if you really don't know what it means, because it's bad.
It's bad. Yes, it is. And well, what usually came up, since Nsoromma missed it, he didn't drive his other car.
I'm blessed to have more than one car. I still forget here, even though I'm late, but
well, this neo-Nazi group plotted an attack on Jewish targets, but they also planned in this attack to rape white women.
Yeah, so, and then this law that they made up, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Their agenda is so deep and so serious that
Mhm.
we right now can't see that these laws and these agendas are not for now. They're for like 15 and 20 years away from now. So,
Yeah.
you know, we as a people, period, humanity has to not let this happen. Certain things happen because,
Mhm.
you know, we're dealing with a savage mind.
Yes,
You
we
know what
are.
I'm saying? So when you deal with a savage mind, that's like one of them what they preparing us for, the zombies.
Yeah.
One of them zombies.
One of them zombies.
They just acting like they normal, but they got a zombie mind.
They got a zombie mind.
So
Because if your ideal to save your society is to rape your women because y'all ain't having enough babies, I understand. I understand white women have struggle genes. And you don't know what that means. That means that their birth rate, okay, are lower than their death rates. And that's because white women aren't having babies.
and that's because they ain't getting humped.
Well,
Yeah. So if they ain't getting humped and they want to be men too, they ain't gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand it ain't that God's creation ain't the problem. Man and woman getting together is not the problem. The problem is them having a choice to choose what they want in a sexual partner. And that's the worst thing that they're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, you know, I seen one of these mayonnaise brigade feminazis, as they're called. Feminazis, okay? Because they're so deep into you know, women's liberation or whatever it is, right?
Right.
That their ideal is they only need men for breeding. Well, guess what? Some of these white men are witty. They're more than willing to be nothing but breeders for y'all. And if you don't let them breed, they're going to make you breed by raping you, because that's what this latest white supremacist plan in his attack was, to rape white women and make them have babies. You're breeders.
Yeah. And also, you know, they hate to be said, no to be said to them. Oh, so if you say, yo, give me some or whatever, and you go, no, not tonight, honey.
Yep.
You're done.
You're
know
done.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I mean, who you can see how sick the people are that put these laws in effect. You know what I'm saying? But and we vote these people in the places that have us messed up. And 10 and 15 years, it's not us per se right now, but your son and your daughter is going to be the victims of these heinous crimes that they commit within this legal structure and supremacy. You know what I'm saying?
And don't forget, okay, when Nsoromma said your son, because these people are pedophiles. I've seen where this guy, white guy, raped this 13-year-old boy, went to court, and the judge gave him a slap on the wrist. It was rape. They dropped the charges down to sexual misdemeanor. What the hell is that?
But did you say the whole thing? Was he white or black?
The boy?
Yes.
Oh, he was white.
That's why. A slap on the wrist for white people and a brick upside the head for black people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's structured to make them gain. You know, and it's bad because the humanity should be gaining. It's not. Everybody need food. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need water. Everybody need air. And you know, they don't look at it like that.
No,
you don't deserve air. You only need this much food. And you'll give him a little bit of water. You know, hey, how you gonna control something that's created by the creator? You know what I'm saying? That's every human right.
Right. And just like Nsoromma said, just for the sake of comparison, remember Jamin Walker stopped on a traffic stop. He didn't stop his car for the police. Chase lasted a few minutes. He slows the car down and exits. Leaves police on a foot chase unarmed. He has no priors. He's murdered by the police. Estimated 90 rounds fired, he hit by 60. Even as he was on the ground twitching, they continued to shoot him and then handcuffed his corpse. Now let's compare that to Ashley Peter, okay? Who was also, both these people are Akron, Ohio, by the way. Traffic stop, Ashley Peter, white woman. She doesn't stop her car for the police. The chase lasts 20 minutes as compared for a few minutes for Mr. Walker. Through 3 counties. She went through 3 counties in 20 minutes. That huzzy was flying.
And you want to get away from them race soldiers too with them race badges.
Yeah.
The badge came up from saying, yo, we need to go find these black slaves and get them, and we're going to give you these badges, and we're going to go get these N-words.
Right.
You understand?
Precinct
Bring them back by
by
any means necessary.
That's where
You get 2 quarters, you bring them back alive. And you get, yo,
Now she crashes her car and exits. She leaves police on a foot chase. She has priors. She's arrested with a stolen gun, alive and on her feet. That's the difference. You understand? That's the difference. See, anti-blackness runs so deep that this society has said that mass shootings are working. We are so afraid of black people that America is willing to not deal with the massive gun violence by having sensible gun safety laws. But they're willing to hand out murder to a black person that they accuse of having a gun when he did.
but that's what I mean. They riddled his body.
Yeah.
When they only take 1 shot, this disable a person.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 10 cops come up. You know why they did that, right? Because all they do is shoot at black targets or they practice. And then when they get out in the street, they gonna shoot. And then everybody got to get a shot in, and that's how you get that. Oh, how many times you shoot? I shot him 17 times. How many times you? Wow, I shot him 12 times.
Yeah.
We really rounded that one.
Yep.
And that's the way they talk. And then, you know, that just had me so hot, though.
Yeah.
And everybody directed like where it's it's the public and it's the criminals. I mean, who are the real criminals here? This guy didn't have no criminal.
You know what I call them?
Yo, man,
They're the gang in blue.
yeah.
We got colors. Gangs got colors.
They still
They got the Crips and the Bloods. They, you know.
but it's even worse than that because they still in the slave mentality. Either you gonna come and work, go to jail for me, or we gonna kill you.
Right.
That's it. And then how do you
What?
Now, like I said, I gave that 1 and 2 white women, black women. Let me tell you something. It's in our DNA to treat you as a queen. Because in early African societies, the woman's place was not only with her family, she often ruled nations. There's a Viola King movie coming out called Black Queen. You want to see that?
A movie?
Yeah. With Viola Davis. And she ruled nations with unquestioned authority. Many African women were great militarists, and on occasion led their armies in battle. Long before they knew of the existence of Europe, the Africans had produced a way of life where men were secure enough to let women advance as far as their talents would take.
I mean, because back then it was a unified front of people that was living together. And they did nothing but push and encourage each other. That's how these structures got so big and undescribable to be able to make, because they were all working with each other to make it a better place for everybody. And we are what you call blessed to have that.
Yes, in our DNA.
In our DNA, that's in a DNA thing that we have. And like I said, they have a deficiency.
Oh, yeah.
They missing that melanin. They missing that connection.
That's what they're
missing all of the energy that gives that emotional love for the unity. You know what I'm saying? The sun provides a lot for Earth.
Yes, it does. And that's why I said our mindset is I am because we are. Their mindset is I am because I beat you.
Well, I'm going to get you.
Yeah. Now, what the American dream tells us, what the propaganda tells us,
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, the American
America is number one. Yes, America is number one. We're number one. America is number one in inmates. More inmates in America than anywhere in the world.
prison system.
America is number one in rapes, and they're going to ramp that up because y'all ain't having enough babies white women.
And plus, they brought a new law in so they can do it legally.
Right? America is number one for having the costliest health care of anywhere in the world.
But you can send $40 billion to help Ukraine and not help ourselves.
America is number one in school children killed. America is number one in fetal mortality. White women, you're not having the babies. America is number one in weapons export. Oh, we can't make a TV worth a damn. We can't make a computer worth a damn.
Oh, well, we'll put some guns together.
Man,
We'll help you defend yourself,
oh, yeah.
which I'm trying to stop right now. So we don't even want you to defend yourself no more against us, us tyrants.
America is number one in mental illness. No wonder. This is a crazy goddamn place. Ooh, everybody crazy. You know, I went to the therapist, right? And she said, I want to see all your Facebook friends.
What?
And your coworkers. Because you were crazy, and they probably are too.
That invading the privacy. I mean, see, this new world, it's just taking the privacy out of your life and making your whole life an open book to the world. And that, I don't think that's right either.
Yeah.
Some stuff should be private.
Yeah. America is number one in its citizens in debt. But that's what they set up. Oh, yeah.
It's set up. Oh, yeah, you can go to school. It's going to cost you $200,000. You can get out and get a job for $50,000, and it'll take you your whole life to pay it back up. You'll see you later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of 195 countries, America is 25th in human rights, 37th in public health care, 38th in math education. I seen that.
But we're number one.
Oh yeah. I seen people online. They can't count past 20 without taking their shoes off.
Using their toes, bro.
Using their toes.
Normally, most Americans can't go into high number
mathematics,
language. Like we come after a trillion. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
No.
For real.
No. And they sure as hell ain't gonna find out with only 20 things to count. 10 fingers and 10 toes.
A quadrillion.
You know? There you go. See?
It's after a trillion.
After a trillion. That's what y'all learn something. 25th in democracy. All right? Meaning that the people are not running this. The corporates are. 22nd in global peace. Do you know that other countries tell their citizens, don't bring your ass to America because it's dangerous? 24th in science education literacy. 46th in life expectancy. Thank you. 23rd in corruption. I think that's a low number.
I know for the corruption.
Yeah, that's a low number.
Yeah,
that should be a lot.
Always do the manipulation on the number. We do know that too.
That's what
we all know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 24th in reading literacy. Wow. Oh, you know what? Where is that? I thought I had that. But between the ages of 16 and 75, most Americans read on about a 6th or 8th grade level.
and you got Chinese kids that's 3 reading in 12th grade.
You're speaking indeed.
But you see how
Yeah.
the difference in applying ourselves to make ourselves better, and or applying ourselves to just go hunky-dory through life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what America is designed to make you think everything is soft. It's a easy, and no, it's not. You have to get this knowledge. You have to get the knowledge, because they can't take that away. But if you don't got the knowledge on how to grow corn and they take it away, you can die. But if you have the knowledge to know how to grow corn, you can survive. And that's what they don't want. They don't want you to be able to survive without them.
Right.
So, yo, learn as much as you can.
As much as you can. As much as you can. Because America is #1 in lying to its damn citizens and pushing propaganda that makes you nothing but a debt slave and a damn fool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Now, let me tell you something. All right, because we're coming to a close here already.
What?
But let me tell you, I have had enough of our people not wanting to be black.
They ain't got no choice.
Right? No choice. You don't want to be black. I got something
I
for you.
heard we white anyway, right? That's another issue.
Yeah.
We all white.
Yeah.
We was white first. But that's another issue.
Yeah. I got something for you, right?
Hold a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. There's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white, it's always something pure. Hey, but I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry. Yes, I'm black. I'm proud of it. I'm black and beautiful.
Dr. King, I'm black and beautiful. James Brown says, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Being the first people on the earth, we're indigenous to the entire planet, and we're really world citizens. Simply stated, we're black. But too many of us can't learn to love that, and that's what I don't like about us. And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority.
Who treats you as an option.
WHGE 95.3 FM. Don't deny.
Nsoromma in the building.
Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something.
Tune in next week. Hell yeah. Don't forget, we got the festival coming up. What is it? August the 10th?
Yeah.
August the 10th. So look out for that. Come support. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Hope to see you there. Yaga! Hey, yo, what's good? Yo, y'all know how I got 18 jobs. I'm sorry. Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. You know, I always give my thanks out to blessings. Blessings to you too, you dig? Yo, Pat.
Hey, like my man said, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Garland, I'm glad to see you in there. Where have you? Hey, Al, I see you too. I hope you learned something today. I try to learn something before I come in here so I can part it on to you. All right, open eyes, open doors.
Streaming all platforms, you dig? Nsoromma. All platforms.
So,